In this video, we are going to be analysing SAVA. So to get straight into it, what are going to be those key levels that we're paying attention to? So obviously we can see we did close up the day 5%. If we zoom this out a bit, you can see obviously pushed up, good momentum until about midday. Got that double top in the intraday and then started to really fade off. And on relatively good volume by that. Usually, obviously, you do tend to see volume decline, but it did definitely pick up, which was interesting to see, not something we always see. But anyway, onto the key technical levels, going to be the key things we're really focusing on, and kind of why did we start selling off around that level. So we did have our second deviations on both the 4-hour and the 6-month, coming into $45 and $47. We can see, obviously, going onto the intraday chart, we didn't quite hit them. Again, it might have been early algos triggering, or it might have just been more where retail traders or even smart money, if they're holding any, are just looking to get out. But that does tell us, as we're so kind of close to these levels, the move might not be done to the upside yet. We more than likely will come up, continue, and try and push to at least 45.30, and then this is, or 45.50. Then this is where we would turn a bit more bearish on the stock. As of right now, I would actually be more bearish, and the reason I say this is if we go on to, again, the standard deviation chart, the main one we're paying attention to, what we can see is we had that first deviation at that level at 39.50. Now, if we look at the intraday chart, we broke through, nothing, like you got that intraday on the retest on kind of a 1 minute, but we break straight through. And again, we like to be able to see a retest on a short, on a longer term time frame. Usually a 5 may sometimes be alright, but really you want to see it on the 15-minute, or even better would be an hour time frame. But what we can see is obviously pushed up, came back, and now it looks like we're getting that retest again. Didn't hit it to the cent, but still relatively close. So we could consider this is the retap. So really, I would be more bullish on it. Again, we may still push back a bit more and actually tap that 39.50. But if we can hold above this level, again, we are more bullish on the stock. We do expect a move to that 45.50. On the other hand, if we start to break and if you see a close below that 39.50, that's when we would flip more bearish on the stock and then look to play the other direction. But again, if we're looking more to the upside, we've got that $45.50, $47. If we break through there, we are then got targets quite far off and near that at least the 6-month high at $54. Breaking through there would be $55, and then taking us much closer to that or at least the 52-week high at $62 and $66. So again, these are the key resistances we're paying attention to. Again, I said as of right now, I would be a bit more bullish on it, as it looks like we've come down for that retest, and it looks like more than likely, if we can break back above that VWAP, again, obviously be looking into that for tomorrow. But if we can start breaking above this level, there is a good indication that we will just continue up to at least 45.30. Now, like I said, 45.30 to around $47, we will flip a bit more bearish. We are becoming a bit more overbought on both the 6-month and the 1-year chart. So coming into those levels, if I was long, I would be looking in profits. And if I was looking to start opening a short position, this is where I would start looking at it. Now, what are going to be those key supports? So if we continue to fall, obviously that 39.50, that's going to be that support level. If we break that again, we do flip more bearish. We would expect to move at a minimum to $35.25. Going lower would be $31.75, and then 25 is going to be that kind of final key support. Obviously we can go lower, but coming into here, this is where we would look to be completely out for kind of two main reasons. Firstly, is our final statistical mean. This is where we expect a price to reverse to when you use a mean reversion strategy. Obviously, that's where you expect it to reverse to, so holding it past that is a lot more of a gamble. But not only that, we also have a pivot level. And what do we mean by pivot? You can see just big reactions really happening on it. So some people may just consider that a stronger level, but really it's just any time, it doesn't matter what side it's hitting it from, doesn't have to repeatedly hit it from one side. But whenever you see big movements around this area, that's how you know it's a pivot, and that's exactly what we see here. Came down to this level, tapped it, came back to test it again, gapped below, came back to retest that, kind of filled that gap, pushed back down, again, retested it again. This time we kind of break through, retested it as a support, pushed back up, came down, again, that was its retest level before failing, and again, a gap to this level. So again, just a lot of movement happening at this level. This would kind of be my final short bias target. Again, not to say it won't fall, because really we have no level, between kind of 24 and 19 or $20, there is no level there. So if we do break that, there is a good chance that we can kind of push down, but really that's going to be my main target. I would definitely be looking, even if you're waiting for the break below it, maybe just keeping a tight stop, so if it spikes you can just get out instead of waiting for a bounce, because again, that is, or can be, definitely something that happens coming into that level. However, if you are looking for levels going even lower, we are then looking at 16.50, 14.50, and final levels taking us down to around $9, 4.50, and really there's the only ones I'd pay attention to. Now, we have given you a lot of levels. Do you need to pay attention to all of these? No. So what we can show you going on to this time frame, where are we now? We're at 41.15. The only thing that you have to focus on is the $39.50 and the $45. Which one are we going to touch and which one are we going to break? For example, if we push up to the 45.30, again, you can look to play the touch of this, meaning you can look to trade the short buys on it. But if it comes to retest it again, we're not going to be playing that short buys from that second move, because if price is moving back to that level, it's because there is a lot of buys trying to try and break that level. So if it then ends up breaking, again, I don't personally trade the breakout. If you have a strategy to trade the breakout, then fair enough. But really, I tend to wait for that break above, come back to retest it as a support, and if it holds, then that gives me a good indication we will continue to that next level, and when I would look and have a target to that next level. On the other hand, if we start to pull back to this 39.50, again, I won't trade this level because we have kind of already closed and kind of traded through it. So instead, I'd be waiting for a close below. If we get closed below this level, come back then to retest it as a resistance, and that holds. Good indication that we will continue down. The momentum may slow down, and we could be looking at a target of around $35 at kind of a minimum. Now that is the breakdown on SAVA. If you did enjoy the video, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out one of these two analysis videos.